And we're live from Albany, Georgia. Welcome to another edition of the Midnight Blitz Scoreboard Show here on the Southwest Georgia Network, georgianetwork.com, and on Twitter, SWGA Network. I'm Walter Johnson, the host of the Midnight Blitz Scoreboard Show. Lots of things to talk about for week 9. Hard to believe that not only are 9 weeks of this regular season in the books, and October is also coming to a close, and lots of things to talk about, and mixed results for two number one teams in the Southwest Georgia Network coverage area. The number one team in Class 7A, the Lowndes Vikings, rallying to beat Tift County, while the other number one team, in the Class 6A Lee County Trojans, had a relatively easier time in taking care of Houston County, and also Thomasville, Trouncing and Cook, and a game that wasn't that close, wasn't close at all, as a matter of fact. And plus, all the scores from all the other games for this second week of the regular season. Made that the 9th week of the regular season, and not much time to waste. So let's get started. And starting down at Martin Stadium in Valdosta, and the number one ranked team in Class 7A, the Lowndes Vikings, playing their first game in 3 weeks, playing host to the Tift County Blue Devils, and the Region 1 7A opener for both teams. And both teams having to deal with COVID-19 issues, and having games postponed or canceled because of COVID-19. And Lowndes was cruising along up until being quarantined, and starting at 5-0, and they faced this Tift County team that came in at 2-3 on the season, coming off a 29-10 win over Perry the previous week. And as for the Lowndes Tift County game, and seeing the Blue Devils punch the Vikings in the mouth early, and scoring on a field goal, make it 3-0. Then it was 10-0 before the fans inside the Concrete Palace even had a chance to sit down and socially distance while doing that. And then it was 13-0 early in the second quarter with another field goal. And then somehow Lowndes started fighting back, scored a touchdown about 5 minutes ago in the first half. About midway through the second quarter, made it 13-7, and then the Vikings had a field goal, just before halftime to make the score 13-10 in Tift County's favor at the half. And then Lowndes scored the eventual go-ahead and game-winning touchdown about 5 minutes ago in the game. And that made the final score Tift County 17. Make the final score Lowndes 17, Tift County 13. And quite frankly, if I were head coach Jamie DeBose, I'm very fortunate to come away with a win. And especially considering this was the Region 1 7A opener, number one, number two. You hadn't played in the last several weeks, last 2 to 3 weeks due to the coronavirus. And obviously you didn't play your best football, but bottom line is a win is a win is a win for Lowndes. And you can take them any way you can get them. Once again, the final score: Lowndes comes from behind to beat Tift County 17-13. And the opening contest in Region 17A was well up the road in Moultrie with number 3 Colquitt County Packers playing host to the Camden County Wildcats out of Kingsland, Georgia. And unlike the Lowndes Tift County game, the Colquitt Camden contest, the Camden Colquitt contest was really no contest, as the Colquitt County Packers crushed Camden County 34-13. So with the win, Colquitt County goes to 5-0 overall and 1-0 in Region 17A. And Lowndes, with their win over Tift County, also goes to 6-0 overall, remaining undefeated, while also starting Region 17A play at 1-0. And wins by both Colquitt and Lowndes set up a key clash at Colquitt County next week. Now moving on to Region 16A, the top-ranked team in Region 16, ranked team in Class 6A, the Lee County Trojans, open Region 16A action, taking on the 10th-ranked team in the state in 6A in the form of the Houston County Bears. And Lee County had took a 7-0 lead during the first half, and that would be the score at halftime. And it seemed like it was a defensive struggle for most of that contest. However, Lee County scored a couple of touchdowns during the third quarter to make it a 21-0 lead going into the fourth quarter, and then the Trojans from Leesburg pretty much cruised from there and beat the Bears 27-6. Lee County 27, Houston County 6, and Lee County goes to 6-1 overall and 1-0 in Region 16A, and Houston County with a loss falls to 5-3 overall on the season, while starting Region 16A play at 0-1. And the other Region 16A contest had the Valdosta Wildcats ranked 3rd in the state, despite coming into that game at one game below 500 at 2-3 overall, pitching a shutout over the Eagles from Northside. Warner Robins 14-0 was the final score there. Valdosta 14. Valdosta 14. Warner Robins nothing. And for those people watching the live video, these were all the live scores, or if you're again at Colquitt County over Camden 34-13. It should be 34-13 on that slide. 34-13, not 34-14. It's 34-14 Colquitt County over Camden County for those people that just missed that. And number 1 Lowndes rallying for 17-13 win over Tift County, and Lee County, number 1 team in 6A, knocking off number 10 Houston County 27-6, and Valdosta over Northside of Warner Robins 14-0. And next week, and Lee County will hit the road to face Northside of Warner Robins. That game will be played at McCall Talbert Stadium. And down the road at Freedom Field, got Houston County taking on Valdosta. In the Houston County Valdosta game. And that's going to be a big one, especially for Houston. Looking to avoid going to 0-2 in Region 16A. Whereas Valdosta will look to go to 2-0 Region 1 6A, and Lee County could join Valdosta at 2-0 with a win over Northside of Warner Robins next week. So should both Lee County and Valdosta win next week. November 6th, the game between Lee County and Valdosta at Trojan Field in Leesburg could very well be for the Region 1 6A championship. And next up, the only game involving the Region 1 4A team in the 7th ranked Bainbridge Bearcats. And it was Bainbridge rolling past Dade Christian School out of Miami, Florida. Final score 35-14. Bainbridge wins. And Bearcats with the win improved to 4-3 on the season. First time all season that Bearcats have been above 500. And this is a Bearcats team that started the season at 1-3 overall. All three losses have come against ranked teams, losing to, and Bainbridge lost to Coffee in Class 5A, in Region 1 5A. Also lost to Valdosta, the number 3 team in Class 6A, which I mentioned earlier. And also lost to Ware County, another top team in the number 1 ranked team. Ware County came in ranked number 1 in Class 5A. And speaking of which, and the Gators lost their first game of the season as the Warner Robins Demons knocked them off 22-19. And that suddenly throws the Region 1 5A race into a little bit of chaos. But as for the Bainbridge Bearcats, and it seems like they're on a roll at the right time. And they defeated Dade Christian out of Miami, Florida, 35-14, the final score. So Bainbridge goes to 4-3 on the season. And as mentioned earlier, this is the first time all season that Bainbridge has had a winning record in at least one game at over 500 after a 1-3 start. Bearcats are now 1-3 in a row. And the Bearcats are back in action and return to Hugh Stadium next Thursday, November 5th, taking on the Westover Patriots. And the Cairo Syrup Makers, whom the Bearcats shut out a little over a week ago. And the Cairo Syrup Makers, who the Bearcats shut out a little over a week ago, will travel to Thomas County Central next week. And first time in a long time, those two teams have met in Cairo, despite being 1-4 overall, was 1-1 in Region 1 4A, with their lone win coming over the Monroe Tornadoes. And Thomas County Central is also off. And the Yellow Jackets escaped with a 26-25 win over Westover Hugh Stadium. That was back on October 23rd. And moving right along, the Crisp County Cougars, who fell from number 2 to number 4 in Class AAA after losing a heartbreaker last week to Peach County, bounced back in a big way as they traveled up I-75 to Jackson, Georgia, and crushed the Jackson Red Devils. Final score 40-7. The Crisp County Cougars, under head coach Brad Harbor, pick up a huge win. And with the win, Crisp County goes to 6-1 overall and 3-1 in Region 2 AAA. And Jackson falls to 3-3 overall and 2-2 in Region 2 AAA with a loss. And a much needed win for head coach Brad Harbor and the Crisp County Cougars. And all 6 teams in Region 1 AA were in action for Friday, October 30th, 2020, the next to last day of October. and all three teams, all the winners of all three games won by at least 36 or more points, and will start in Nashville, Georgia, and the Early County Bobcats jumped out to a 35-13 lead en route to a 70-20 rout over Berrien. A much-needed win for head coach Joel Harvin and Early County Bobcats, are now in Blakely, Georgia. Blakely, spelled Blakely, Blakely, Georgia. Early County wins at 70-20 over Berrien. So with a win, Early County goes to 4-2 overall, and more importantly, pick up region win number 1. So the Bobcats are now 1-2 in Region 1AA, and Berrien falls to 2-6 overall, 0-3 in Region 1AA. And at this point in Berrien, pretty much stick a fork in Berrien. They're all but out of it. And the same thing is true for the Worth County Rams, who started their season off at 3-1, but have now lost 4 straight games. Got trounced by Tift County, then lost the heartbreaker to Cook. Then got crushed by Thomasville, trounced by Thomasville, 56-28, and the Rams take it on the chin again. Worth County Rams get taken in the woodshed again, this time by the number 2 team in Class AA or 2A in the Fitzgerald Purple Hurricanes. And Fitzgerald wins easily, 55-7. And Fitzgerald now 8-0 on the season, undefeated, to 3-0 in region play. And Worth County falls to 3-5 overall and remain winless in Region 1AA at 0-3. And Worth County hosts Berrien next week, and what basically amounts to a must-win game for both teams, or like a playoff contingent elimination game. So the winner of that game will still have an outside shot at getting the playoffs, while the losers can pretty much hang it up and play for pride during that final week of the regular season, which would be Friday, November 13th. And the third and final game in Region 1AA pitted the Cook Hornets from Adel and the Thomasville Bulldogs, playing at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Thomasville. And the Bulldogs cruised to an easy 42-6 win over the Hornets, and Thomasville came in ranked 6th in Class AA, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Georgia High School Football Daily Poll, and all the rankings you see on your screen, are courtesy of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, as well as the Georgia High School Football Daily Newsletter. And again, Thomasville wins over Cook easily, 42-6 the final score. With a win, Thomasville goes to 5-3 overall and remains undefeated at 3-0. And the wins by both Thomasville and Fitzgerald will set up a big game next week down in Thomasville, with the Bulldogs hosting the Purple Hurricanes, or Hurricanes, if you will. That's going to be a really big game next week. And same with Lowndes and Colquitt up in Moultrie in Region 17A. It's in the Region 1AA title between Fitzgerald and Thomasville. Could very well be decided next week. Not only with a region title, with number 1, which team will be seeded number 1, which team could be seeded number 2, depending on the outcome. And also Early County visiting Cook. So when Cook dropping to 2-1 in the region 1AA, Early County 1-2. So when that game could swing in one direction or the other. And already mentioned earlier, Berrien visit, traveling to Sylvester to face Worth County. And going to Single A Public. And in Region 1, in a couple of big games, a big surprise down in Donaldsonville, Georgia, and the Mitchell County Eagles came down there and returned home to Camilla with a 42-14 rout of Seminole County. And Mitchell County goes to 2-3 overall and improving to 2-1 in Region 1 Single A Public, while Seminole County fell to 3-4 overall and suffered their first loss in Region 1 Single A Public play, falling to 2-1. And in the only other Region 1 Single A Public contest, it was the Randolph Clay Red Devils from Cuthbert, Georgia, picking up their first win of the season as they rolled past the Calhoun County Cougars out of Edison, Georgia, 29-12. And Randolph County make that Randolph Clay, CLAY, with the win, goes to 1-6 overall and pick up their first Region 1 Single A Public win as well, going to 1-3 in league play in Calhoun County, whose season was initially canceled, fell to 0-3 overall, as well as in region. And I think this will probably be the last game of the season for the Cougars. Only 2-3 weeks left in the regular season. And probably don't expect unless there's some more teams they're willing to step up and fill the holes in their schedules over these last 2 to 3 weeks, which would be the weeks of November 6th, 13th, and 20th. I think Calhoun County more than likely played its last game of its shortened 2020 season. The season, of course, that has been shortened due to COVID-19. Moving right along from Region 1 Single A Public to Region 2 Single A Public. And the Brooks County Trojans pick up their 7th win of 2020 against only one loss, as the Trojans out of Quitman, Georgia, crushed Charlton County. That game was played down in Folkestone, Georgia. Final score, Brooks County 49, Charlton County 13, 49-13. Brooks County wins easily, and Brooks is ranked number 1 in Class A Public, Class Single A Public. And Brooks County goes to 7-1 and 3-1 in 2 Single A Public. Charlton County falls to 3-4 overall, 1-2 in region play. Only a couple games left for head coach Maurice Freeman and the Brooks County Trojans. And Brooks hosts Clinch County next week. And Clinch County won easily over Atkinson County. I think it was 27-0. Clinch over and 27-0. Clinch over Atkinson County. And down in southeast Georgia. And see, Clinch did beat Atkinson. So that was a big win for the Panthers. And also, it was Turner County bouncing back from that loss to Clinch by defeating Lanier County 27-7. And Turner County goes to 6-2 overall and 3-1 in Region 2 Single A Public, with only a couple of games left to play. And so Brooks and for those people that are looking ahead, and for anyone that's looking ahead, Brooks County hosts Clinch County next week, and then we'll hit the road to go into Ashburn to take on Turner County to close out the regular season on Friday the 13th, November 13th. So both games could have tremendous playoff implications for Brooks County. Seems like with just 3 weeks left, as a matter of fact, with just 3 weeks left in the regular season, every game seems to have playoff implications. So, in Region 2 Single A Public, once again, Brooks County over Charlton County, 27-7. And Turner County over Lanier County. Try it again. It was Brooks County over Charlton County, 49-13, while Turner County defeated Lanier County 7. And wrapping things up. And some GISA action for Friday, October 30th. And a bit of a surprise, Damascus, Georgia. In the Battle of the Warriors, it was the Brookwood Warriors from Thomasville rolling past the Southwest Georgia Academy Warriors 41-28. And with the win, Brookwood goes to 5-3 on the season, while SGA loses for only the second time this season, falling to 6-2 overall. And also got the Southland Raiders from Americus getting their first win of the season as they roll past Edmund Burke out of Waynesboro, Georgia. Final score, Southland 28, Edmund Burke 6, Southland 28-8. Edmund Burke, single digit number 6, 28-6, Southland over Edmund Burke. So Southland goes to 1-6 on the season. And that win can come at a better time for Southland. This is a Southland team that was winless coming in. And a big win for this Raiders team. And also got Tift area pitching a shutout over Terrell Academy 14-0. Bad night for the Class AA teams. With SGA losing and Terrell County Academy losing as well. And Tift area pitches the shutout 14-0. And the Class AAA teams and in the Brookwood from Thomasville, Tift area from Tift County, and the tiny town of Chula, Georgia, spells Chula, both picking up big wins. And the GISA Region 3 AAA play starts next week. So 3-week marathon there. And the 8-man league and 8-man division in the GISA. Thursday night contest, Thursday, October 29th. And Westwood lost a tough one to Monsignor Delavan Catholic High School up in Athens in Northeast Georgia last week. And then Westwood loses again, this time Windsor Academy out of Macon, pitching the shutout 26-0, 26-0. Windsor Academy shuts out Westwood, and Windsor improves to 8-1 on the season. And while Westwood falls to 4-2 on the season. And last but definitely not least, Crisp Academy in a high-scoring game defeated Twiggs Academy 64-34. And on that note, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Midnight Blitz Scoreboard Show for the week ending Friday, October 30th, 2020. Airing live and or pre-recorded, if you will, on Saturday, October 31st, 2020, or 2020. And before signing off, and a quick reminder, and if you haven't done so already, and don't forget to set your clocks ahead, or make that correction, set your clocks set your clocks back 1 hour before going to bed. And later tonight, which will be Saturday, October 31st, or early tomorrow, Sunday, November 1st of 2020. So going from daylight saving, the transition from daylight saving time to standard time will be before what happened before the weekend is or this weekend comes to a close. And again, so looking so looking back at and looking back at the key talking points for this week, and Lowndes and coming back from that 13-0 deficit to defeat the Tift County Blue Devils 17-13. And Martin Stadium in Valdosta and Colquitt County, rolling past Camden County, and a big showdown in Moultrie next week. And that's one of those games I think a lot of people are going to look forward to. And next week, and then also Lee County Trojans rolling past Houston County 27-6 at Trojan Field in Leesburg. And Lee County now 6-1 the season, and more importantly, opening Region 1-6A play. Opening Region 1-6A play at 1-0, and then traveling the north side next week, and then Lee County's already beaten Warner Robins. And Warner Robins came in as the number 1 ranked team in Class 5A. And Trojans beat Warner, knocked off the Demons by almost similar score, like they did with Houston County, and then having a chance to go up in the Warner Robins, completing this sweep of some of the big teams, or in Houston County or the Greater Robbins region, and when they take on north side of Warner Robins, and then you also got Valdosta going up to play Houston County just down the road from McConnell Talbot Stadium at Freedom Field the next week. And that game could prove to be pivotal in the race for playoff positioning in Region 1-6A, and both Region 1-6A, both Regions 1-7 and 1-6A. We'll send all 4 teams to the playoffs, and of course Thomasville all over Cook, 42-6. I mean, and Fitzgerald winning easily over Worth County, 55-7. I mean, that could and it sets up a big showdown between Fitzgerald and Thomasville in Thomasville next week on Friday, November 6th. And once again, that's going to do it for this episode of the high school, make that the Midnight Blitz Scoreboard show. And once again, a reminder to visit the Southwest Georgia Network, I should say, at southwestgeorgianetwork.com. And also remember to follow on Twitter, SWJ Network, Southwest Georgia Network, or the High School Football Roundup podcast, as well as updated weekly scores and schedules, and Southwest Georgia Network. Follow the Southwest Georgia Network on Twitter, SWJ Network, for any breaking news, as well as score updates on game nights, which is pretty much every Friday night. Again, thank you for listening. I'm Walter Johnson, and remember to set your clocks back or fall back 1 hour before going to bed, either late Saturday, October 31st, or early Sunday, November 1st. I'm Walter Johnson, and as always, stay safe out there, and have a good rest of your weekend and week. God bless you and goodbye.